Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talking about the Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle or is also known as TCA cycle. This video is just a review. For further details you can check your recommended book. So without any further ado, let's get started.
So here we have some important points of citric acid cycle. Citric acid cycle is also known as TCA cycle, tricarboxylic acid cycle or the Krebs cycle because it was proposed by scientist Sir Hans Krebs in 1937. That's why it's known as Krebs cycle. It's a sequence of chemical reaction by which the acetyl coenzyme A is oxidized to carbon dioxide, water and energy. In this reaction, the acetyl coenzyme A is formed from the catabolism of carbohydrates, fats and amino acids. So here we have the acetyl coenzyme A that is formed from the catabolism of amino acids, carbohydrates and fats. And as we know that it's a sequence of chemical reaction, and from this the acetyl coenzyme A is oxidized into carbon dioxide, water and energy in the form of ATP. Next we have it occurs in the cytosol of prokaryotic cells but in the matrix of eukaryotic cells. So here we have some important points of citric acid cycle. Now let's move to the different steps of citric acid cycle. So here we have the citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle. In the previous lecture we have discussed about the glycolysis. That is basically the breakdown of glucose into two pyruvate molecules. If you want to understand, you can visit our playlist. Glucose is breakdown into two pyruvate molecule, that is 3-carbon compound. This pyruvate molecule does not enter directly into the mitochondria. So it will convert into 2-carbon compound, that is acetic acid. Then after entering into the mitochondria, it combines with the coenzyme A and will convert into the acetyl coenzyme A by the release of carbon dioxide and NADH and with the help of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex enzyme. Then this acetyl coenzyme A, that is an active form, it will combines with the oxaloacetate, that is 4-carbon compound. And when this acetyl coenzyme A, that is 2-carbon compound, and this oxaloacetate, that is 4-carbon compound, when combines, it forms a 6-carbon compound citrate by the enzyme citrate synthase. Then after that, this citrate molecule will convert into its isomer, that is isocitrate by the enzyme aconitase. Then in the next step, this isocitrate by the release of 1 carbon and 2 oxygen and also the NADH molecule, it will convert into 5-carbon compound, that is alpha ketoglutarate by the enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase. Then in the next step, similar reaction occurs and this alpha ketoglutarate will also release the 1 carbon and 2 oxygen and also the NADH molecule, convert into 4-carbon compound, that is succinyl coenzyme A by the enzyme alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. Then this 4-carbon compound succinyl coenzyme A will also form the ATP or a GTP and will convert into the succinate, that is also the 4-carbon compound by the enzyme succinyl coenzyme A synthase. Then after that, this succinate enzyme, that is 4-carbon compound, also releases the electrons and reduce the FAD into FADH2. Then this succinate enzyme will convert into fumarate by the enzyme succinate dehydrogenase. Then after that, this fumarate, that is 4-carbon compound, with the addition of water molecule, it converts into malate, that is also 4-carbon compound with the enzyme fumarate. Then this malate, that is 4-carbon compound, with the release of the reduced form of NADH, will convert into 4-carbon compound again by the enzyme malate dehydrogenase. Then this oxaloacetate will combines with acetyl coenzyme A molecule, and this process is repeated again and again. So here is all the substrate of the Krebs cycle. As it's difficult to understand or difficult to remember, so I have a mnemonic for all this, that is citrate is Krebs starting substrate for making oxaloacetate. From citrate, the first step is citrate. The next is from isocitrate, that is isocitrate. The next Krebs from alpha ketoglutarate. From starting succinyl coenzyme A. From substrate succinate. 4 fumarate. From making we have malate. And from oxaloacetate, the end product is oxaloacetate. So here is the reaction of the Krebs cycle. And as it's difficult to understand the enzymes or difficult to remember the enzymes of the Krebs cycle, so for this I have also a mnemonic, that is so add disco double sip down 5 drinks from D dehydrogenase enzyme and from S synthase enzyme. From so, the first enzyme is citrate synthase. Add, next enzyme is aconitase. Disco, as we have already discussed, D from dehydrogenase, so the next enzyme is isocitrate dehydrogenase. From double, alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. Sipped, S from succinyl coenzyme A synthase. From down, D dehydrogenase, and the enzyme is succinate dehydrogenase. 5 fumarate, and the drinks, that is D from dehydrogenase, and the last enzyme is malate dehydrogenase. So from this mnemonic you can easily remember all the enzymes of Krebs cycle. And here we have the results of the Krebs cycle. In this Krebs cycle, 6 NADH molecules are released or are generated. As it's repeated 2 times, so 3Na, 1, 2, and another is 3. So as it repeats 2 times, so 6, 3 into 2, 6 NADH. 2 FADH2 molecule, 2 ATP or GTP molecule, and the carbon dioxide molecule 1 and 2, as it repeats 2 times, so the 4 carbon dioxide molecules are released. So here is all about the Krebs cycle, different steps of the Krebs cycle, and the mnemonic for the enzymes of the Krebs cycle and for the different steps of the Krebs cycle. Now let's move to the significance of the Krebs cycle. In the last, we have the significance of citric acid cycle. First we have it is the final common pathway for the oxidation of carbohydrate, lipids and fats, and from the oxidation of carbohydrates, lipids and fat, acetyl coenzyme A is formed. Then after it will convert into carbon dioxide, water and energy that are needed for the cellular respiration. Second we have it produces most of the carbon dioxide in our body tissues, as we have discussed in the citric acid cycle. Third, it is a significant source of reduced coenzyme, and these coenzymes are NADH and FADH2, and after that it will produce the energy in the form of ATP that are needed for their cellular activities. In the fourth we have it supplies the precursors for the biosynthesis of different compounds such as nucleic acid, heme, fatty acids, cholesterol, steroids and amino acids. So it also provides the precursors for these biosynthetical molecules. In the last we have it also provides some compounds that exert direct or indirect control on the enzyme system. So here we have the significance of citric acid cycle. In this video we have just discussed some important points about the citric acid cycle. We have discussed the citric acid cycle, and in the last we have discussed the significance of citric acid cycle. If your books are giving you hard time, so you can join our channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and share. For my untidy handwritten notes, you can follow me on Instagram. Thank you and take care.